up, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the Texas Rangers Report, brought to you by Centerfield Media. And if you guys have been sleeping under a rock lately, then you probably don't know that the Padres have been making a bunch of moves. They traded for ace and Blake Snell, they traded for an ace and former Rangers Yu Darvish, and they traded for a third base candidate that the Rangers were looking at, and a person that I made plenty of videos on here on the channel. And that is Korean star Ha-Seong Kim. He's a shortstop. I've been looking at him to play third base for the Rangers, and so now that he's gone, I'm going to be listing off 5 third base candidates that the Rangers can look at to fill that third base void, because honestly, I do not think Elvis should be playing third in 2021. The offense just hasn't been there for Elvis. So most of these guys that I'm going to be listing off will probably be guys signed to a 1 or 2 year deal that will be a gap bridge player until Josh Young's ready for the major league level. However, there is one exception, which is Renato Nunez. Nunez has club control all the way to the 2024 season. He's a former Ranger. He's hit a bunch of home runs. He hit 30 home runs in 2019, 12 this year in the shortened season. He's still young. He's 26 years old. So I think there's room for him to grow his game and become a better player. Oh wait, what am I still doing with this hat on? Rangers. Sorry guys. Rangers. Yeah, he's still young. I think there's still room for him to grow. And yeah, I think that club control can come in handy because, I mean, Young is the future at third base for the Rangers, but Nunez can play in the left field, he can play first base, and he can play DH, so it just gives some versatility for the Rangers. I mean, he's not a great defender, so if he does play first, left, or sticks at third, he won't be a great defender, but yeah, his bat is intriguing. The next player on this list is Jurickson Profar. He's another Ranger. We all know he was a top prospect back in the day. Although he hasn't played third base since his days with the Rangers back in 2018, I think it was 2018, 2017. I still think there's upside in him. I mean, he was the #1 prospect in the entire MLB back when he was a prospect. He started showing some of that potential last year with the Padres. I mean, he was alright with the Athletics when we traded him there, but he really started showing that potential this year with the Padres. He had a really good year. He's still only 27 years old, so he's still young, but time is starting to tick, and I think the Rangers could have a family reunion because he has a little bit of power, and he is a capable defender at the third base position. So I think it would be intriguing if the Rangers were to sign Profar to a 1 or 2 year deal. The next player on this list is Jedd Gyorko. He's like the second oldest player on this list that I have. Although he had a really productive season last year in 2020 with the Brewers, he has good power for a third baseman. I actually saw him rehab with the Dodgers AA affiliate, and he hit a bomb. Like it was fun to watch. I mean, he has solid defense for a third baseman. It's not anything like Beltre or Nolan Arenado, but it's solid. He can also play first base if needed, and I think he'd be a good veteran presence to have on a super young squad. I mean, we can get him for dirt cheap for like a 1 year deal, and then if Young is ready to play at the end of this year or at the start of the 2022 season, then we just give the reins over to Young. But I think Jedd Gyorko could be a really good stopgap piece, but he would be like a good player to have that wouldn't be detrimental to the squad. My 4th player on this list is Maikel Franco. This is another young guy, so this is the 3rd young guy I have. He's only 28 years old. I still think he has some potential, but if he doesn't start really producing soon, then I think he's just a washed up prospect, because he was a top prospect back in the day. He hasn't really produced, except for this year with the Royals. He had a really solid season. Although the main thing with Franco, he just put up good counting stats, and that's about it. But I think the Rangers could take a flyer on Franco for 2021 year. If they sign Franco, it better just be like a 1 year deal, not a 2 year deal, because I think Young has more potential than what Franco has. And the last player on this list is Asdrubal Cabrera. He's another former Ranger, so that's the 3rd former Ranger on this list. And he's the oldest player on this list at 35 years old. I mean, he had a solid 2019 season whenever the Rangers released him or designated him for assignment, and then the Nationals picked him up. Whenever the Nationals picked him up, that's when he started to have his rebound of the season. Although he struggled in 2020, and I don't think 35-year-old Asdrubal Cabrera is in the point of his career where he can handle the hot corner anymore. And I don't think he has that much pop in his bat anymore. So I don't know if he makes too much sense for the Rangers. However, if they sign him to be their everyday third baseman, he would still be a solid veteran presence to have on a young squad, just like Jed Gyorko. But he'd also be a good versatile guy because Asdrubal can play third and second, but he's also a switch hitter. So yeah, out of all these guys, I think I'd rather have the Rangers sign Renato Nunez or Jerickson Profar. One, because they're young and I think they're just intriguing and they've produced. So those are the guys I want the Rangers to sign. Let me know who you want the Rangers to sign from this list. And if I left anybody out that you want the Rangers to sign, let me know in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that because I love talking about Rangers. They're my favorite team, and I want to give that to you guys. And with that being said, that just about wraps up the video. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.